Hello, everyone. How are you this evening? How much fun are Christmas cookies in December? I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to come on. I'm so excited because I am working on a longer countdown video for you. Whoops, 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 whoops. I am working on a longer countdown video for you so that we have a little bit more time to let you guys all get on and then potentially have some time to share to your pages. Help a girl out here and get us a few more people in the group. We're very close to reaching 1,800 in the Cookie Snack Attack group. So excited. And we wanted to try to reach 2,000. I can't remember if I said 2,000 either by Christmas or before CookieCon. But real quick housekeeping, if you haven't signed up for live stream text alerts and you would like to do that, please text the word live stream to 540-870-0726 and we will send you an alert anytime we're live between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Unless it's an excessive amount of lives in a day, and then we'll cap it at like 2 or 3. And thank you for letting me go on a few minutes early tonight. I don't know if you guys are going to attend or not, but Nancy Westfall has a group called The Colorful Cookie. And so she is hosting a get together tonight where the elective add-on and core instructors that are participating in CookieCon Reno are going to be in a Zoom call that she's going to broadcast on her page so we can get everybody prepared for the big lottery tomorrow night to get CookieCon tickets. Are you so excited? Like, I'm going to be glued to my computer just to see which of you gets tickets and whatnot. So let me say hello to a few people. Hi, guys. Ooh, let's say hello. So that starts at 7. So I wanted to have a few minutes to get off, reset the cameras, tone the lighting down a little bit, and be ready to go because I'm going to participate in that tonight. Tickets go on sale for CookieCon Reno tomorrow, December 8th. So excited. Whoa, and I'm so glad that I got to teach because I don't have the stress of trying to get a ticket. I just have to say thank you. Thank you, Lord. Hey, Bobby, how are you tonight? Hello, Sheila. Ooh, from Omaha, Nebraska. Is it cold there? It's got to be cold there at this time of year, right? Hey, Sabra, how are you? Hey, Jen. Hi, Jen. Well, you just stay as long as you can and pop back on when you can. Hope everything's going well for you tonight. Hi, Deborah. How are you going? How are you doing? Hi, Myra. Hello, Sandy. How are you? Wow, there's quite a few of you on. Good. Everybody say hello. Tell us where you're from, where you're watching from, what you're doing while you're watching, as long as it's PG. Let's see. Hi, Debbie. Hello, Debbie. I've got 2 Debbies back to back over there in the comments. Hello. Hi, Deborah. Ah, cool. All right. Hi, Paula. I know, so nervous for tickets. Hey, Barbie, how are you tonight? Let's see. 4 friends. No, that's not bad. No, you should get as many people lined up to get the ticket for you as possible because that's part of it. And we're Nancy's going to talk about that tonight. And I think she said Karen and Mike might from CookieCon might actually pop on the call tonight. So that's going to be exciting too. Hello, Kay. Hey, Becky. I'm not sure if I said your name, but I saw you there. Hello. Hi, Sheila. How are you? At -5 Celsius. No, let me come over here so you can see my face. No, that's way too cold for me. Hey, Allison, how are you? Hi, Krista. San Diego. You should be warm, right? You're warm this time of year? You're decorating. Hey, Judy, how are you? Hey, Kat. I hope everybody is having a good time this evening. You're knitting a holiday gift. Very nice. Hey, Teresa, eating dinner. Cool. Let's see. Yes, cook dinner, watch later. Join us during Nancy's CookieCon info call tonight. And hey. Oh, triple duty with him and the girlies. Ooh, wow. Who is this? Whose hubby had hand surgery? Wow. Hi, Krista. Yes, yes. Hello, hello. All right, so let's jump in. If I see questions over there, I'll come back to you guys. Um, but I want to go ahead and get started because I wanted to try to do 2 cookies. So I will say this so that no one panics. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Maggie. Don't panic. I did want to try to do 2 cookies tonight. I feel like in order to be able to be off of here by 7:35, 7:40, 7:45, let's just stretch it a little. um, I feel like in order to make that happen, we need to jump right in, keep it moving, and possibly we'll get to a second cookie. But having said that, don't panic. If we don't get to a second cookie tonight, I will do the second cookie tomorrow when I take a break on a project. I'll just jump on tomorrow when I can get to it. Hey, Cindy, how are you tonight? I will jump on and let me go over here and move myself up in case I keep popping on popping comments up. Let me see if that's a little better. That way you won't just see my curly hair above the comments when I put them up. Does that show better now? Yeah, that'll be better. Okay. So if I don't get to the second cookie tonight, please don't panic. I will do it tomorrow. And later. Yeah, sure. I'll definitely post it. Plus, I'm going to share it into our group so you guys will be able to watch it too because it's a Zoom call. And I don't know how many of the teachers are participating, but Nancy always does a fabulous job with things like that. So I'm expecting the tech to be good and everybody will show up for that. Hey, Nicole, how are you? So, if you saw my video earlier today, I was not in my best. Had a terrible, terrible sinus headache. The weather was changing, and I felt like my head was in a vice grip. So I took a little sinus medicine, took a 3-hour nap. I think the weather is actually blowing back out. I think we're going to avoid the snow. I'm not ready for snow. I like snow. I love snow. Actually, what am I talking about? And I love it when it snows on Christmas Eve, especially, but not quite ready for it yet. So, I'm kind of glad it might have blown out because the pressure seems to have lifted and I feel much better. Hey, Holly, how are you? All right, so we're going to do this cookie from our 4-piece set of holiday memories. The cutters were done by Dots and Bows, so don't worry if you haven't gotten to them, but you've been able to watch the videos and you're like, oh, I think I'd really like to have that for next year. The cutters and the STL files are still available on the Dots and Bows website. Hey, Patricia, how are you doing? So make sure as you're popping on that you say hello, and we're going to jump right in and start sketching. And just a quick reminder, I always sketch in black on video, but if I were actually making the cookies and needed to sketch or mark the cookies, most likely I'd be sketching in yellow so that it would be easier to cover up. But I wanted to show you what my original design was for these particular cookies because I know that you know it's a Christmas tree, but I see a lot of things when I look at this now. When I sketched my design, I send a photograph, I just outline it and send it to them, and they turn it into a cookie cutter and list it on the site. So then I try to give my brain a break, work on another project, come back, and then I see more things in the same cookie cutter. But tonight we're going to decorate this as it was originally intended to be decorated, and more of a beginner level cookie, something you could do faster so you have time to still sell these for Christmas. So I planned this cute little bow up top. If you wanted to do a fondant bow, you definitely could. You have plenty of room for it. And it was sized initially. There's a larger version of this bow, which you know is one of my favorites because it's a big puffy bow. And since it's Christmas, I was thinking to do it in chocolate because it would be super yummy on the top of the Christmas tree. But it was sized for this bigger bow. And then when I do the Tuesdays, I try to do those so that you can do them fast at home in case you're creating in volume or cooking for profit. Okay. So let's just go in tonight and sketch this out. We want to do this, and we're going to try to keep it tonight to royal icing and then the candy bits that we gathered a few weeks ago. Okay. So that's primarily what we're going to use tonight. Thank you, Jen, for posting that. Maggie, I can see your name now. Hello, hello. How did his hand surgery go, by the way? Was it good? Good news? And you're just taking care of everybody and keeping everybody moving? All right, wonderful. So you just respond and I'll come back to you. So we're just going to sketch this out. So if you have the cookie cutter and you bake the cookie, there's a natural break right here. That's meant to be your bow. Now, you can get this bow as complicated as you want to, depending on how much drying time you have. I think it's easier to put more sections on a cookie when I'm doing more cookies exactly the same, because then I can go assembly line style. And oh, Maggie, I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. So you can do one cookie section and move on. And by the time you circle back to the first cookie, then you can add the next area next to what has dried. So I'm going to sketch it as if I was doing a whole bunch of cookies. Okay. Hello, hello. Oh, Maggie, that's so funny. Well, that's good. It'll make taking care of him easier. That's funny. Hello from Idaho. Hello, Miss Barbara. How are you? Oh, and can I show you guys something really quick? I want to show you two things. I'm not sure that I showed this to you yet, but if you've been around for even a slow minute, even a country minute with me as I broadcast, then you know that I really like presents. I like presents as much as I like artist tips, because I love the live streaming, but I also love when you guys send me something, because most of the time when you send me something, it's something we're both into or we both enjoy. So I know when something arrives, you probably ordered it for yourself too. So then it makes me really want to do the cookie to give you some ideas. So hold on. There's two things I want to show you. So a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, oh, it scared me. I thought I had put it up. I got this great gift in the mail from Miss Priscilla. Priscilla, are you on with me tonight? So look what she found me, because she knows I love nutcrackers. And yes, this is super huge. It's like tip of my finger, halfway down my forearm. It's a copper. She found it at an antique store. It's a copper nutcracker cookie cutter. Isn't that cool? So she told me how to clean it and polish it up. So I'm going to be doing that, but I have kept him sitting here on my workstation so that I could show you guys, because it's so cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're going to make this soon too. Okay. And thank goodness I asked her about how to maintain that, because potentially I would have done what I do with my metal cutters and put that in the oven. And apparently you don't do that with copper cutters to dry them after you wash them. You're not supposed to do that because it could loosen the solder, but I did not know that. And this is, by the way, Priscilla, my first copper cookie cutter. Like, I may be hooked now, right? When my husband's putting in a new kitchen for me at the house. And so he's planning the cabinets for two things. One, taking my height challenge self into account, so they're not so high that I have to be on a step stool constantly in the kitchen, for, bless his heart. And also because I have a really cool collection of Longenberger hand woven baskets and antique Shenandoah egg baskets and things like that that I wanted to put on the top of my cabinet. Well, I'm thinking maybe copper cookie cutters are going to come into this as well. I love it. I do love it. A whole new addiction. Thank you so much for that. And then I got this awesome gift today too from Lavelle. Lavelle, are you here tonight? I was hoping to see you on, but I have to show you this. So Lavelle sent me this cookie cutter today. It's a giant cookie tree cutter, which means she probably got herself the cutter. I don't know, maybe, but she said, she said that I know you like big cutters, so this one's for you. Merry Christmas. Lavelle, if you watch this later, if you're not on tonight, thank you so much, because I do adore this. And the note said that I might want to take these things out, and I might, but I might not, because this one doesn't sit as low in the cutter. So if I just make a thinner, crispier dough because it's a bigger cookie, like bake it crispier, I might leave that in there because it's just so cute. It would give me a little decorating imprint. So we're going to hopefully make both of these after the 19th of December and before Christmas. So I'm not specifically running a 12 days of Christmas or a 6 days of Christmas or doing special cupcake flavors this year or special nights for the cookies, but I have baked a whole bunch of them of things that we wanted to get to that we have not gotten to. And we are going to be we're going to be doing those starting probably the night of the 18th through the 24th. And I'm just going to do as many of them each day as I can. And I love this. It's so cute. And I love the big bushy tree. Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you to both of you ladies. I know that you spoil me, and frankly, I love it. Sorry. Side note, I really love getting presents. So it made me happy when they rang the bell today because I was like, I didn't order anything. What's out there? And then I opened a present. It felt like Christmas. It was wonderful. All right, back to our cookie. So I am going to ice this in separate sections because I want to give it as much dimension as possible. So this will be like the inside of my bow loop. So I'll do a little low profile scraping there. We'll flood here. Separately, we'll flood this. But then because I like tails on bows, I like puffy bows and I like tails and extra design on them. So this cookie, if you go down the side, right here is a point on each side, and right here's a point on each side. So, and then there's another set of points. This is your first set of Christmas tree branches. So your bow is here. So just come in about 1/8 of an inch and make 2 dots until you get the visual. Once you have the visual, you're good to go. So what we're going to do here is just swoop in, right? We're going to bring these lines into the center. And we're going to pipe a little cool bow over here. So now you can see, and I really like the feathered end on here. Hey, Sandy, how are you? I'm trying to watch from, hey, Florence, I'm trying to watch from a couple devices tonight so I can see between a couple devices, I can usually see more about who's online with me. So this is going to be the top of our tree. We are going to need to put a little bit of greenery. So I'm just going to mark this so that I don't forget. We need to put some tree greenery right in here, okay? So I'm going to mark that for the Christmas tree because then it comes down to a point just to give you an idea. And I wanted this to be, hey, Sally, how are you tonight? Hi, Alyssa. How are you doing? I know, Priscilla, that thing, it's really cool, right? I have no idea what this is, but whoever you are, you're about to get blocked. Hold on, guys. We got somebody on here who's not keeping it PG-13. So, boom, you're out of here. I hope I didn't flash that up on the screen. Seriously, you're going to keep posting. Oh boy. All right. Because there aren't enough. No, I know it wasn't you. It said, actually what it said was naked girls watch here. So I've now blocked it. If anybody else sees it on any of the other feeds, can you please report it and block it for me? I can only see what comes through Facebook. So if they're doing that somewhere else, no, I know it wasn't Priscilla. You're good, Priscilla. You're good. I didn't block you. I blocked the naked girls watch here nonsense. Where do these people come from? Don't you have anything better to do with your life? We're literally talking about sugar cookies here, okay? We don't need all that. All right. Probably it's automated. I wasted my speech, but I'm just saying. Sally, you're so funny. I know. I have been a very good girl for the most part. That's my caveat too. For the most part, I try to be a very good person, and I am also fully dressed. So I did think it was really funny when Nancy sent out the reminder today to the teachers to say, unless your camera's off, we're going to be able to see you. So please wear clothes. Like, are people still doing that? Like showing up only half dressed and then forgetting and standing up? Because I know it was a thing when the pandemic started, but seriously, 2 years in, it shouldn't be a thing anymore. All right, so let's get back to our Christmas tree. All right, so I do want it to be a little girly, frilly, and I want you to have options. So I'm going to decorate this with the scallop design that I intended to have because I want to have snow, on the boughs of the tree, but we don't want to pressure pipe this like we did in the limited edition class. We want this to be a faster cookie. So what I did was I found my two indentions here, and then I looked at this and I just roughly in my head figured out thirds, right? Because I wanted an odd number. So I marked here and I marked here. Do you see that to get spacing? Okay, Deborah, if you got to go, we'll catch you later tonight. So I'm going to loop this down. I want a little scallop. And then I'm going to loop over to this one. Do you see? So it should be just a little more feminine, like girly type Christmas tree. Okay. So then let's come down to the next indent, come in about 1/8 of an inch, just in case you like to leave a border on your cookie. And then let's find, I would say on this one, we want to find center, and then we want to go halfway because we want 3, 4, and then potentially 5 at the bottom if there's enough room. So we're going to swoop in here, swoop down again, a little swoop there. And you see, I'm not getting too particular. And then my tree is going to come up into this part. By the way, I sketched this tree 2 years ago and we just didn't get to it last year. So I'm so happy that I was able to get it into our set for this Christmas. Now, I think because of the design that I want to do on the bottom, I'm just going to stick with 4. So let's come from 1/8 of an inch in and let's swoop up so that I have that in my head where I want that to be. Let's find center and drape it down just a little, and let's find half and half, okay? So let's swoop over here. Let's swoop here. Let's swoop here and swoop there. And then 1/8 inch on each of my sides here. And again, I'm just tracing, marking this for you guys because I want to teach you how to sketch. I think it's important for you to see me sketch, and then you can look at a cookie. If you see something different, you can change it up. But all of this gets hidden under icing. So this is our cute little tree. And honestly, when I first sketched this tree, I really had Whoville in mind. Can I say that? I don't know. Let's just say that Candyland type place. That's what I had in mind. Swoop, swoop. There it is. All right. So we're going to do a few things, but we're going to be mainly doing wet on wet. And Facebook user who likes my wall of sprinkles, thank you. I am addicted to sprinkles as well. It's a real problem. Probably need an intervention. It probably isn't going to happen. And Priscilla, swoop, swoop. All right, so let's start with our bow first. And I think that I want my bow to be red, and I think I want to put diamond dust on it. So let's do 2 things. I'm going to trim the tip of the bag, and let's see if I have, yeah, that paintbrush is clean. So I'm going to just put a little bit of red up in the area that I want to be background, and I'm going to just use a paintbrush, no particular paintbrush, and I'm just going to pull that down so I have really low profile. Okay, I want the color of the bow to be in the back, but I don't necessarily want the bow to have dimension there, right? You were here for the diamond dust. I'm here for the diamond dust too. So I did pull out my holly berry. This is one of my favorite Christmas red diamond dust. So we're definitely going to get into some diamond dust in a few minutes too. Okay. So let's go ahead and do, hey, Amy, how are you? You like the tree, Sally? So let's just do an outline. I think that I'm seeing about 4 or 5 completely new people on the feed tonight that have joined us over on my page. And just so you guys know what I'm doing right now, I am using the same consistency icing to do my outline and my flood. But what I'm doing right now is creating something that's called a dam. And what that does is it puts a border around the area you're about to flood. And it basically holds back that flood level icing so you can get a nice poofy icing. Nice full. Hey, Andrea, how are you this evening? So I'm just going to put this outline down, and then we're going to let this, and I'm going to go ahead and do the whole ready to reach for the wallet. I know, I'm telling you, it's scary. I'm going to go ahead and outline my entire bow, and then we're going to let it set for just a second, but we have to come right back. We're also going to do the bottom of our cookie. We're going to do the pop because I want it to be in red. The reason we're doing these particular areas first is because we want to use the diamond dust. So we need to do the area that we're going to be spritzing with the diamond dust first so that it doesn't wind up on everything else on the cookie. Okay. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Everybody doing okay tonight? All right, we're all getting so excited because the tickets, and this is one of my favorite scribes ever. Sally sent me this from when she went to CookieCon in Orlando. And Sally, I meant to use him every single live stream since then, but I put him somewhere safe and I just relocated her yesterday. So I pulled it out. I hope they sell more of these because I like it so much. I was afraid I would ruin it. That's why I put it somewhere safe. However, I feel like I'm not getting to fully enjoy it. So I'm going to use it and I hope I don't do anything to it because it's just super sweet. All right, now we're going to use the scribe and just pull a little bit of that icing to a point right where the little outline is filling in here. Only doing it this particular because we really want the middle loops of that bow. We want the back part of the bow to really show. So it's setting up nicely. I do have a heater going in my room tonight, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect everything. We're going to go ahead and outline and flood the base. And again, the only reason I'm going down to the base so quickly to get this done is because the bow and the base are all going to get diamond dust. It came from Semi Sweet Designs. I just don't know if they have any pink ones left. And I really need to have a nice pink one, right? And I just love it. So let's fill this in. All right, so now we've got these, both of these. I'm going to go ahead and actually, I'm going to hold off for a second. Hey, Priscilla, have a good dinner. We'll catch up with you later. If you have questions, just put it in the replay, okay? I know, isn't the tree so sweet? I love this tree. All right, now I don't want all of my sections that are touching to run together. And even though I have that outline, it's not quite dry enough to hold everything back. So we're going to do this center loop, get that out of the way. You see how it just fills in there? I also need to turn the dehydrator on because this is definitely going to have to go in the dehydrator or it's probably going to crater a little bit on me. So let's get that going too so it's warmed up. So the reason I picked the center section first is because if I do that center section and get it out of the way, out of the way, meaning do it first and let it set up, then hold on, I'm going to come right back to Sally. If I do it first, then I can come back and flood the other 4 sections all at the same time, and nothing will be touching a wet section when I do those last 4. So Sally, not a stupid question. You know that, you teach. And I'm happy for all questions because it means you're interacting. This is not from our Christmas class box. This is from the 4-piece set for 2 Tutorial Tuesday. And it's on the Dots and Bows website. It's the Holiday Memory Series where we have the gift tag, we have an ornament or finial that I designed, this Christmas tree, and then the last one, which I think you all have figured out is a bow, but what you probably haven't figured out is how we're going to decorate that bow because I have a new texture technique to show you. So that will be our last cookie in this series, which we will do next Tuesday. And Jen is dropping links in for anyone who wants to grab STL files or the cutters. They're still available. All right, so let's go ahead and put a little diamond dust here. So again, this is Holly Berry by the Sugar Art, and I'm just tapping it because I find if I tap these before I use them, their little filter things in the middle don't get as clogged up. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you, there's 2 ways to do diamond dust. Like there's a million ways probably, but for me, there's 2 ways that I primarily use it. If I'm doing like Christmas ornament lights and I want them to just be shimmery, I flood and I immediately put the diamond dust on it, but it has a little bit of weight to it. So it kind of sinks into the icing and it's real reflective and glittery looking. In this case, I let this sit for just a minute. If I move it, we're going to get hairline cracks, which means it's starting to crust over. And so that's going to make the diamond dust set up on top of the icing just a bit more, okay? So I thought probably just good reminder. But look how sparkly this is. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, now let's put a little bit up here. The reason I'm going to go ahead and do this and do the outline is because that's going to help that set a little bit more so we can go ahead and move on. It's not necessary to do this extra step. If you're doing a whole bunch of cookies, you can come back and do the bow of the tree all at one time. But putting that on it is going to make the outside a little bit more useful in holding back our flood icing. So I hope all of you will sign up for my elective class at CookieCon if you manage to get tickets. I'm doing that really cool mixed medium cookie that's actually part of a set of 4. We're going to do the one that we can actually get done in 45 minutes, but that cookie is part of a set of 4. And at another time, we'll be turning that into a full class for everyone. But it was created for CookieCon. The cookie that we're teaching there was created specifically for CookieCon in Reno. So I won't be teaching it until the rest of the cookies until after CookieCon. And I did double check all of that with them. So I have permission to do that. I don't want to do anything that is not in proper CookieCon etiquette. Don't forget tonight on the Colorful Cookie page, all of the well, not all of the teachers, but the teachers that are a part of Nancy Westfall's group, the Colorful Cookie, will be on there tonight. And we're going to talk all kinds of tips and tricks about getting CookieCon tickets. Hopefully Karen and Mike from CookieCon are going to jump on for a little bit. We're going to answer questions. I guess we're going to answer questions. I think that's what the email said. If anybody is interested in knowing anything particular about what we're teaching. So I'm kind of excited about that. So if you guys do have questions, that's the perfect forum to ask. Hey, Miss Charlotte, how are you this evening? Okay, now I'm going to lift this so you can see the difference. Can you see at the bottom where the diamond dust is on it? Can you see at the top where I just flooded and I haven't sprayed it yet? But in the center, it has diamond dust. So if you want a comparison to see whether you want to even use diamond dust or not, there you go. Okay. Of course you need diamond dust. Go for the glitter. Allison, tonight's thing should just be on her regular page, the Colorful Cookie, which is not an actual group that you have to join. Hey, Sandy, thank you. Now let's flip this over because I got a lot of glitter on here and it's eventually going to make it hard for you to see on camera. And let me just do a little dusting and take the extra off the cookie. If I can do it without cracking the icing. We don't want to crack the beautiful icing, right? Let's take this off. So for those of you who do Christmas shopping, are you done? Now, also, guys, I'll probably take my airbrush tomorrow before I photograph this. I've knocked some of the diamond dust off, but tomorrow I'll take my airbrush and anywhere that it landed on the cookie, because I don't want to risk damaging the icing. Anywhere that it landed on the cookie that I wasn't able to swipe it off right away, we will go back and do that. All right, now what we're going to do first is put a little bit of light green. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go light green. We have 2 shades of green we're working with tonight to keep this in the same look as our other cookies. So we're going to fill in this very top section with the smallest amount of icing that we can get in there. We don't need a lot. We just need, we're going to put some ornaments there. So we just need enough to adhere the ornaments to and for the top part of the tree. Sally, at the end of the week, I expect on Friday, we'll do prep video. If I can squeeze it in, I really want to do it on Thursday, but there's just a lot going on this week. But prep video will either be Thursday or Friday night. This is a beginner intermediate class, so nobody should be in full-on panic about this one. This one's relatively easy to prep for. I mean, anytime there's icing involved, I have to say relatively, because, you know, some people just really freak out about prepping icing, but this one, otherwise, not a lot of prep to do before class. Definitely not as intense as the advanced class that we did this past Saturday, okay? All right, so we filled in those little areas, and now what I would like to do for this section is I want to do, I want to put a whole green background, and then I want to do some stripes because I want each of my sections to have a slightly different look. Now, I put diamond dust on that bow, so I'm okay with going in immediately. I'm not that concerned about going in. Do you see how I'm a little bit above the line? Because I want to put, actually, I think I'm going to go to the line, and we're just going to pop this in the dehydrator in a little bit, let it crust, and then we'll go back and do our snow. But I want to put a little bit of different design on each level of this tree, and we're going to mix up our green colors. And I am going to go ahead and use my scribe because I want really pointy edges on the outside part, so it really looks like the tree's like lifted, like it's got those nice points like you would have on a Christmas tree. All right. So let's just take this, just using my scribe to manipulate that icing a little bit, and we're going to pull that off. So we have that nice swoop. Let's make sure we have all of that sketch mark covered. Not such a big deal if you're sketching at home and you use yellow, but when we go to photograph in the natural light tomorrow, that black is going to show up. It's going to be the first thing you see, right? Let's see. Hold on one sec. Let's come back up here. 2 gift certificates is all you have left? Oh, that's right. You have to get all of your stuff done early because of your surgery. Well, I'm glad that that's all you have left. Miss Paula, what did I use for the red? The red is Red Rose Master Elite by the Sugar Art, which is water activated and very, very concentrated. That's the red. And then the Diamond Dust is also from the Sugar Art, and it's Hollyberry. Let's see. Thank you, Nicole. Camille, hello. I love this tree. It's such a cute little tree. I sketched it, and then I didn't get to it because the year that I sketched this, which was 2020, a huge corporate order came in at the last minute, and it ended up messing up my whole schedule for the last week and a half before Christmas. So I didn't get to actually do this tree, which now I'm glad because instead of hand cutting it, you now have it as part of a set. All right, so let's do a few stripes on here. I think that would be the most fun. So let's get some white. I actually made mine an off-white tonight. It's more like ivory color because I wanted it to match the previous week's ornaments. All right, so let's put a few stripes before it sets up too much because the hope is that our icing is exactly the same consistency between these two colors. It feels like it is, and it was mixed up to be the same, and that way they'll sink a little bit. So we'll get that nice wet on wet, nice even line down in the icing instead of up on top of it. That way, if you're cooking for profit or volume, hey Janie, it won't break off in the bags when you bag it. Now, if you want to get really fancy, you don't have to do this, okay? But I am going to take my lines. I'm going to start over here. Can you see this? I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to swoop up to the middle and then wipe that off. You could just leave it as stripes. It'll be perfectly fine. I just want to be a little extra. And I also want that upward motion, okay? Let me wipe that scribe off over here. Now I'm going to grab a pair of tweezers. Wait till you see what I got you guys for your boxes that are coming out in January with our February kits. I'm going to get some of the darker pink sugar beads. Hey, Trisha. I'm just going to drop a few on here. I don't need a lot. I don't need a lot of candy on this cookie because we're doing so much different in the design. But I want to put a few little nonpareils on here. And we're going to put a few of the pink sugar pearls. Oop, you can see with the heater on in here, it's already crusted. So I'm just going to gently tap that in so I don't mess the icing up. And I think really one more little, let's see if I can find like an odd shape in the pink sugar pearls. I love it because they're not all perfect cylinders. So we can get one more, that way we'll have 3 on that area, okay? Then let's switch over to our dark green. We're still okay on time, but we are just going to do this one tree tonight to give everybody time to go get ready for the Zoom with Nancy tonight. All right. So we are outlining by following that swoop. We're going to stay kind of away from the other. I'm going to use my scribe to draw it up to those areas because I don't want to have too much icing on the cookie, okay? Now I'm going to show you the loop-de-loop. So complex, I know, but that's how you get those really cool edges on your cookie. Did you see that? So that you don't have to go back and spend a ton of time with your scribe. See the loop-de-loop? That's how we get those nice little crossover pieces. Now I'm just going to put some icing down, and because I want this one to be really specific with how far over the flood icing goes, I'm going to use my scribe tonight to pull it into those areas. Does it drive you all crazy when I don't circle around the edge or start in the middle and work outward? I know everyone likes to do that, but it doesn't affect it for me, so I like to just let it loose. All right, I'm just giving a little swirl here to make sure that I'm covering to the black line. You like this little tree? I like it too. It's so cute. All right, and what I'm going to do is just use the scribe to make it look like the dark green. I'll lift it up and show you. I got to move fast though so it doesn't crust, but I'm just using my scribe to pull it over to the light green because I didn't want too much on there, but then I'm pulling a little of that up onto the color above it. So I get a point without actually, so I get a little more definition between these layers without affecting that layer that's crusting. The cute little tree. And you, of course, could have textured the bottom. You could have done a fondant mat and done one of the fancy flower pots. You have enough room at the bottom to do that. You could have just attached packages down there and not done a stand for your tree at all. Now on this section, guys, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do some red polka dots. Okay. And I'm not going to be making them look symmetrical. In fact, I don't want them to be symmetrical. So don't follow a particular pattern. You don't even have to make all the dots the same size. But I want to get a few on here so they'll sink into that layer, creating that nice wet on wet. I think that's it. We're going to do just a couple little teeny ones. I'm not even going to put any candy on this layer. Now, also, please don't panic. If you feel like you're not seeing enough differentiation between first, second, and third layers, don't panic because we're going to be coming back and adding our ivory. Bye, Jen. We'll catch up with you later, okay? We're going to put the ivory there and then put a little white diamond dust on it, or we're going to try this out tonight, a little edible white glitter from Wilton to make it look like there's snow on the edges, okay? So don't get real excited about that. You just need an area to follow along with, okay? Now, at the bottom, I think what I would like to do is do this whole layer in white. Or in my case, it's an off-white. It's more of an ivory color tonight. By the way, I tested a new flavoring, a Loran emulsion in raspberry in my icing. And the smell is absolutely fantastic. It's like I have one of those scent burners going in this room. It's so strong. All right, here we go. Very, very technical term. The loop-de-loop is happening, and that's getting me those nice bees. Okay. Now my white is a little bit runnier. If I was doing a whole bunch of cookies, I would be, Sally, you need this in your life. I would be stopping and thickening this just a little bit, but for what we're doing tonight, it's going to work just fine. That's always something I try to stress to you guys when you're learning to make cookies or you're cooking volume or cooking for profit. Don't fiddle all night with icing that's not the perfect consistency. Just stop and either thin it out or thicken it up. It's just not worth the hassle of struggling with it all night long. Hi, Ellen. How are you? All right. So on this layer, I want to use some of my green jimmies, right? Let me get a few of these out of here. I'm going to use the dark green ones. And I'm going to put them where they look like they're set together in pairs. And I'll show you why in just a second. And I'm trying to find the straighter ones of this bunch in here. So if you're just joining us, don't forget the reason I went on early tonight is because Nancy is going to have kind of like a little briefing sort of thing, more information about getting ready to get your CookieCon tickets tomorrow. I'm going to drop some green in here, some lime green. I love lime green, pink and hot pink at Christmas. So do you see how many different designs it looks like we were able to get by combining just a few simple techniques with some little candies? Let's lift this little guy up. You could stop right here. You don't have to go any further, but let's do some snow because why not? It's fun, right? You guys like snow on your candies. All right, but I do think, let's test something though before we do it on the cookie. Do you guys mind? Let's do a little mad scientist experiment real quick. Let's put down some red. This is literally how it goes when I'm designing cookies. I just think, let's see what that looks like. So I'm putting down a little bit of each of my colors. And I'm using 4 colors tonight. Can you see all this on camera? You can see all of them. Okay, good. So, and let's do 2 things. Let's do, although I'm not going to spray it, let's do it like this so we can control this experiment a little bit more. Instead of, thank you, Camille, I'm so glad you like it. Instead of spraying it, I'm just going to use one of my sprinkle spoons. I'm going to get some white diamond dust and put it right over the colors so we can see what each of the colors look like with diamond dust over it. Okay, and it doesn't take very much to do the experiment. And I'll lift this so you can see it. And then let's, oh my goodness, I don't know what I just got all over myself. Let's use the white edible glitter, which is made with gelatin, I believe. And let's do it and see what the snow looks like over the colors. Like, do we really, my intention is to find out if I want to use this edible glitter, which makes beautiful snow, by the way, and it dissolves when you're eating it. I want to see, does it look enough different over a color versus being over the white that it's worth doing it a color first? Or should we go back and add that white? I'm going to lift it. Diamond dust is on the right. Edible glitter is on the left. Of course, I like the diamond dust because it's super shiny, but just keep in mind that what we're going for is a snow effect. So I do actually think that what I want to do is put the white down and put diamond dust and edible snow. Is that too much for you guys? I think that's actually what I would like to do. But I do, I think it's pretty over the other colors and there could be a use for that. But I do think I like it over the white snow the best. So let's try something else out real quick. Let's put a little bit down on here. And let's put some of the edible glitter is just, these were at Michael's. It's just white edible glitter from, or yeah, edible glitter from Michael's. I have this mainly because I use it on frozen cakes. All right, so I'm going to put some of that down. Okay, and then I'm going to spray the diamond dust. Hopefully it's not going to blow that all over. And I'm using the new Color Flare pump by the Sugar Art. Oh yeah, that's what we're going to do right there. If I can keep because the pump on those is so controlled. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the edible glitter down, then we're going to hit it with the diamond dust. Actually, another experiment. Let's see if we can make some pre-diamond dust glitter, because then we don't have to worry about getting the diamond dust all over our whole cookie. And it's, you know, I love glitter, so it's not that. It's that we want a controlled area. So let's pre-diamond dust this glitter. Seems to be working. That way we can control. We'll catch up with you later. Thank you for watching tonight, Trisha. Let's see. So let's pull our ivory out, or white, whatever you're using. And this is how we're going to try to control this from going all over the cookie. First, I want to make my really specific swoop. Okay. Then I want to just make it look more random, like snow catching on the edges of branches. Okay. It doesn't have to be that particular. Okay. Now, let's very carefully take some of the pre-diamond dusted glitter and try to keep it right over the white, because we didn't let this whole, if the whole cookie had crusted, I wouldn't be worried about this at all. We would have gone back and just done the snow bits, and it would have only attached itself to the wet part. But because we're doing this in a live feed, we're doing the whole cookie at one time. So we need to be a little bit more controlled about these little sections, okay? All right, let's go ahead and do the next one. Just getting my swoop so that I have that nice clean line. Then I'm going to get more random with where the white is, so it's not so symmetrical looking. We want it to look like loose snow has fallen on the tree. Okay. And somewhere I have one of my thingamajiggies. It does, doesn't it? And I like this. We're also going to test the week of the 18th. We're going to test that. Oh, I don't have enough control that way. All right, hold on. We're going to have to do this with hands again, because I just don't have quite enough control with the thingamajiggy to keep it in a limited area there. And it doesn't matter right now, but it's going to matter tomorrow when I go to photograph it for you guys, because then that picture, you know, you can blow up so you can make decisions about color schemes and things. What was I about to tell you guys? I was mid-thought on something and got distracted, which is not at all unusual. Okay. I actually really like this with the snow added. So even though I said you could, oh, I know. Becky, that's what I was coming back to. I'm actually going to try the wafer paper that I airbrushed and attached and sprayed with diamond dust. I put it into a coffee grinder and I made my own. And I'm going to compare that to the wafer paper snow that came from Intricate Edibles. So we're going to be doing that too, because I now have that here as well. So we're going to try that so that you know whether it's worth it or not to make your own. I make snow for frozen cakes all the time, and I do it by putting a pearl shine on my wafer paper and then putting, now this bottom one's going to be a little bit harder for you guys to see because it's ivory on ivory. I make it for my frozen cakes all the time, and I use a coffee grinder, just a little bean grinder. And again, I'm pre-diamond dusting my edible glitter. That's a Wilton edible glitter that came from Michael's, to just do the edges of my branches here. for our cute Christmas tree. So we're going to do that comparison as well. And you guys, I think we need a little red on this bottom layer. So I'm going to put a couple of the pink beads. I'm going to take these green ones off and put a couple of pink ones so it looks more like holly. Okay, is that all right with you? I like that a little better, and it ties all of our colors together. And then I'll lift it so you can see it. And then we're going to paint some packages. And I'm not going to tip it to knock the excess off because I don't want it to get stuck. Okay, but can you see that? Cool, huh? All right, so let's pop this into the dehydrator because I can see my bow wants to crater, and I don't want that to crater because that'll show up in my pictures. You know, we're so picky as the cookie artists, we're so picky about what that cookie looks like. I know that most of the customers won't notice that, but you should still always try for that to not happen, right? Oh, and also, if you were watching, was it last night? Thank you, Sally. Thank you. Thanks, April. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Barbie. Whatever night I was on with Katrina from Dots and Bows, I think it was Sunday night, I watched part of the video again, and I'm so sorry. Whoever asked the question about where these bow clips came from, I think they were asking me because I don't think Katrina was using bow clips Sunday night, and she mentioned you can get them from Borderland Bakery, and you can. That's not where these came from. These were actually from one of our class kits. So the reason I wanted to tell you that is because I'm super excited to tell you that one of the things that we will be doing next year is putting up an online shop where about a month or so after cookie kits have released, if there's any extra products from the cookie kits, because, you know, I order in extra in case something arrives damaged. I don't ever want somebody to be without something that's buying one of our class kits, because we pretty much use everything in the box for class. Like sometimes you'll have a bonus item or two in there just because I found something cool and I want you to have it in your toolbox. But I am going to be listing things online. We've just got a couple of things to figure out before I do that so that we can keep the shipping reasonable for you guys. So I got a couple more things to do before we can head down that path, but I'm excited to tell you that a lot of the things that are in your kits, if you want more of them, they'll be for sale on our website, which is Seriously Sweet Cupcakes. But don't go there now because the only thing that's up there for sale, well, actually, you could go there now if you forgot to sign up for the regular Christmas class. It's our last paid class for 2021, and it's the regular Christmas class. It's this Saturday at 4 p.m. via Zoom, as long as we don't go over 40 people. Right now, I think we're okay. We have more than that amount of people, but not usually everyone comes to the live. So if we go over 40 attending, then we'll swap it over to Facebook real quick. But the plan currently is to stay in Facebook. And yes, Maggie, that is one of the things we are investigating. All right, so why did I put this? Oh, we're going to paint this. Look, you guys, I get so distracted. We have 2 minutes. We're going to do this really quick because then I want you to have time to grab a drink, go to the restroom, and then get back at your computer, especially those of you who are not super familiar with CookieCon and you're going to be trying to get tickets. I want you to know how to get those tickets. So make sure you are back and ready to watch the live on the Colorful Cookie. It's a Zoom. It'll be a Zoom call where the elective add-on, and I'm getting a little bit of Everclear here to thin out my gold to paint. I want to paint these packages. Even though I use the sparkly gold fondant, it's just not quite sparkly enough for me. Okay. What was I trying to tell you? To be back on that call. Okay. I want you guys to be on that call so that you get all the tips and tricks, because getting a ticket is literally 50% of the battle. There's things to do after that, but if you have no ticket, you don't need to do anything after that, right? You just have to wait and see if somebody sells one. All right, we need to let this get, can you see what I'm doing? This is Truly Mad Plastic gold. It's the one when I know no one's eating the cookie. I use this one because it's non-toxic, not FDA approved, but it's so shiny, you know, I can't get away from it. So I'm just painting the package that I made with the Katie Sue bow mold that I showed you earlier. And if anybody did any research this afternoon, it's a little too thick though, you guys. Let me thin it just a little bit more and we'll finish it up. If anybody did, bye, Sally. See you later. Thank you. If anybody did a little research this afternoon and discovered another package mold, this is the one that I made these from, the Katie Sue, but I know there's other Christmas package molds out there, and they might be fondant molds that have like a Santa head, a stocking, and a package. Those are fine too. It's just I wanted to find something to put up affordable for people that wanted something to add presents, maybe to their fireplace scene that we did in the limited edition group this weekend. Or if anybody duplicates the 3D fireplace I created last year for for Cookie-a-thon with Nancy Westfall, these packages would be so cute added to that. But we want to put a little fun gold on here. These packages in this mold is so cute. And you guys, I picked these two in particular because they're the two on the far left side. And if you actually made two of these while they were wet, you could attach them back to back and they would stand up. You could put back to back, right? The flat parts together. You could attach them. They do actually stand up. I made a few for a photograph the other day. And then you would have some three-dimensional stand-up to put with your fireplace scenes or your other Christmas scenes maybe that you've made. These are great because they'd be the same on the front as the back. But it's just enough putting two together back to back that they stand up really well. Okay, so that was a little bit of Everclear in my little jar of Truly Mad Plastic Super Gold. And that's it for tonight. Let me grab the cookie and show you one more time. So it'll be in the ending. And I always work out as much of the gold as I can on here. You guys know this brush goes right into a traveling toothbrush holder so that I don't waste all the product that's in it. But I like to knock out some of the product before it dries up so that it doesn't fill up and get all dusty in that toothbrush holder. And the toothbrush holder case that I used just came from the Dollar Tree, nothing fancy. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this. And then you could have some cute packages to either add onto it or to put around it on your platter if you wanted to make these in modeling chocolate, paint them in an FDA approved so they were like little chocolates you could eat. This mold, you can do chocolate in it as well if you want to use chocolate melts, so you could have little candies to go along with your cookie tray. So just another fun idea if you want to mix it up a little bit for the holiday. Please come back and join me. I'm going to try to share the feed with Nancy. I'm going to try to share it to the Seriously Sweet on Davis Street page and over to the Cookie Snack Attack group. So you should be able to find me on either one of those when she goes live. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And if you can't find us there, though, then pop over to the Colorful Cookie. And I hope you enjoyed our cookie tonight. Tomorrow, I'll do the second version of this in the pastel colors for you, okay? All right, guys, thanks so much. It was wonderful spending time with you again this evening. Thank you for so many of you turning out tonight. And I